Listen to me. I've got you. I won't let go.
From Titanic to Terminator, it's time to break down James Cameron's film Avatar: The Way of the Water. Now let's return to Pandora, but this time it's underwater. However, Jake Sully and the Navy are back. Those vexing humans are back too. The struggle for Pandora is resumed in the Soggy sequel, which introduces Sully and his family to some new allies and one recognizable old foe. We are going to examine how Colonel Quaritch came to be present in this one. We'll also discuss how this tale can accommodate all the future Avatar sequels. And this guy is involved in everything. Therefore, you have no justification if you haven't seen it yet or don't want to. Okay, now let's get started. There was always a struggle for Pandora. In this film, the humans are returning to take over Pandora, attacking the native navy and setting fire to everything in their way. Jake and Neytiri are now a family, and throughout the duration of the film, they are only concerned with keeping their children safe. The major antagonist is back, Colonel Quaritch. As a result of his attack on Jake and Neytiri's family, they are forced to flee the world and finally team up with a crazy hyena, a seagoing species related to the navy that lives in the forests. In the end, a fierce struggle is fought between Jake Sully and the reborn Colonel Quaritch. Almost everyone manages to survive a huge portion of the sinking ship sequence. In the end, Avatar Quaritch's son saves him from drowning. Tim, the oldest son of Jake and Neytiri, is eventually killed during the fight. The movie closes with Avatar Quaritch awakening and getting back to work on killing Jake Sully. More than 10 years after the first movie, Jake and Neytiri are raising their small family in Pandora's jungles when the second one begins. When the RDA and humans arrive, they immediately resume where they left off. They intend to plunder Pandora's resources and exterminate any indigenous creature that stands in their way. Colonel Quaritch, who very much does not survive, spearheaded the Order's first invasion of Pandora in the first movie. It makes sense that he prepared a backup of his memories and charming personality before he passed away. In this universe, it is already possible to upload a version of oneself into a giant blue cat. Making a copy is, therefore, only natural. And, indeed, the Avatar character survives. But even if he didn't, it wouldn't matter because they could always create a new avatar, making him basically an everlasting person. When Avatar Quaritch wakes up, he sees a video of the previous court explaining the issue, and giving him the go-ahead to resume where he left off while also prioritizing getting massive revenge against Jake Sully. In this movie, Avatar Quaritch is primarily motivated by the revenge angle, which quickly takes precedence. Although Spider loves Jake and considers Neytiri to be family, he also appears to want to please the Avatar version of his dear old dad. Anyway, Jake, Neytiri, and their children are being attacked by Avatar Quaritch, forcing them to abandon the forest where the Navy lives. They then hide in a coastal region of the world where the Med kind live and guard the reefs and creatures. Navy Jake gradually assimilates himself into a strange alien civilization for the second time throughout his existence as an avatar, learning the customs of the Med Neewa or the Way of Water. Basically, he does the same thing he did in the previous movie, only this time it's his entire family. As long as they don't bring the dispute with humans with them, Jake, Neytiri and the gang are welcome to stay at the Med Cane. Jake naturally makes this pledge, but as soon as the Avatar Quaritch discovers their location, it is swiftly forgotten. There are a lot of expansive, lengthy moments in which everyone is swimming with the alien sea creatures. But just as Pandora's forests are home to dangerous species, the water is home to equally dangerous creatures. Loik, the son of Jake and Neytiri, is nearly killed when he is attacked by a large, white shark-like creature on Pandora. However, he is saved by a large whale-like creature just as he is about to be eaten. When the RDA forces arrive to get revenge on Jake Sully, the Moat are unable to join the fight against the humans and save most of Jake and Neytiri's family. Jake is the older son of Neytiri, as we've already mentioned. When Tim is killed in the final battle while defending his sisters, Jake and Tiri naturally go into wrath mode. But during the battle, the enormous support ship brought in by the RDA forces sustains severe damage and begins to sink, forcing everyone to flee before it sinks in a desperate attempt to survive. Soon later, Avatar Quaritch awakens and prepares to destroy Jake Neytiri and his family once more. The movie concludes with Jake Neytiri and his family grieving the passing of their son. The majority of the humans are expelled from Pandora at the end of the first film after being handled by Navy personnel. But it didn't end there. They simply return in greater numbers and with better equipment. That should be your first clue if you're wondering how James Cameron intends to extend the series into several sequels. Nothing ever ends, thus the humans won't just give up trying to raise Pandora because they met with resistance. The RDA and humans are both still present the first time and at the conclusion of the Way of Water. Nobody is leaving, and this kind of invasion and resource theft isn't the kind of issue that can be neatly resolved at the conclusion of one film.